how do you get what you want out of the vortex? How do you get and turn these? How do you get what you want out of the vortex? How do you actually manifest your hope and desires, your lifelong dreams into realities that you can not only enjoy but share with people around you? How do you manifest everything that you want? What's the real applicable thing that you can do? And the answer truly is the law does it. The law of attraction does everything for you. The law of attraction is the engine. And your work is then to ask, and you're already asking, and then to not doubt it, to not contradict your own energy. And that's what the art of allowing is all about. That's what this whole conversation is about. That's what molding the clay of your thoughts is all about. It's about learning how to keep that door open long enough that you can start to receive insight, inspiration, knowledge, ideas on what to do next. And as you follow your inspired action, and you're sure that it came from the receiving mode of your source, then you're not only rocking and rolling, but you're having a great life experience. For now you understand the formula. You just know how everything works. You get it. And so the emotional manifestation, it will turn into the physical manifestation. It will, because that's the first sign of your manifestation. The first sign of your manifestation that is turning into a thing. Because right now, so we have to start way back. We have to start with the inception of your desire. You see, you can't help but ask. It's naturally who you are. And everything that you ask, your source energy takes track of it, and then your source energy becomes the vibrational equivalent of your desire. So as a result of your new asking, or just your asking, your inner being has literally expanded and become more. And that's really great. That's great for your inner being. What about you? You're like, well, that's great for my inner being, because my inner being became more, but I don't have the money yet. I don't have the physical stuff. Where is all of it? And so we say, well, it's there, but you just can't see it yet. You can only translate it with your emotions. You can only translate the vibration of it through your emotions, because it's just in a pre-manifestation form right now. But if you can enjoy the emotional version of it long enough and really be stable in that and sure in that, and you own the emotional version of your desire, and then the absence of your desire doesn't bother you. And all throughout the way, you're leaving the door open, so to speak. And so the insight comes to you. You're in the right place at the right time. You meet the right people. You rendezvous with the exact cooperative components. You recognize the universe and the path and exactly how you got there. And you get everything that you want. And it comes really fast, because it's not about time. Everything that you want is literally just a vibration away. We really want to talk about this vibrational currency, because everyone has vibrational currencies that they're really tuned into. And what's interesting is that the vibrational currency is easier to have right now in this now moment instead of the physical manifestation, because the physical manifestation is, usually the door is closed to that, because you don't know where it's going to come from. You don't see it yet. You have a history with the physical manifestation. But this vibrational currency, what do we mean by vibrational currency? It's like, imagine there's clarity and there's confusion. So you don't like confusion. So clarity is wanted and confusion is unwanted. And so when you're confused, you can talk yourself, you can pep talk yourself, you can soothe yourself back to clarity. You can pep yourself back up. You can soothe yourself. You can talk yourself back into the vortex. That's literally all you have to do. That is the work. The work is to make yourself feel better, because as you make yourself feel better, then you're now opening the door to source energy. You see, everything is about how you feel, because it's not really about the subject. The subject is usually loaded. It's actually about choosing the emotion first. And as you practice the emotion and make the emotion your own, then now law of attraction, as a result of law of attraction, the details and the thoughts it's like, at first emotion is really general, but then as the law of attraction and momentum ensues and the thoughts become really specific, it's like, instead of using the condition or the action to inspire the alignment, you're using the alignment to inspire the action. You're using the emotion to inspire the action, which is really interesting. The emotional manifestation is always first. It is. But our human friends are like, well, that's not enough, because I want to see the physical stuff. And what's interesting is that you can have it right now, because you're not matched to it. If you were matched to it, you would have it already. And since you're not matched to it, you don't have it. And that's why you don't have it, because you're not a match to it, because you keep saying that's not there. But when you're like, you know what, I don't see it, but I have the vibrational essence of it, I feel it, then now you're really spending that vibrational currency. So imagine if you want money, right? The thing about the money is that you have to not talk about money, because your manifestations, the physical manifestations, are really far down the line. Because when that physical manifestation hops out into the scene, there's already been so much energy alignment, there's been so much focus, meaning there's been such a lack of contradictory thoughts that it's like it shoots through, and then there is your physical manifestation. But what about the journey along the way? That's what we're trying to gear you towards, which is the journey along the way. It's spending the vibrational currency. You can't spend the money yet, but you can spend the money in your mind. You can't go there yet, but you can go there in your mind. And that's what vibrational currency is about. It's about literally like, it's like flipping through a book of emotions and finding which emotion right now feels good. So instead of talking about money, talk about why you want the money. Talk about the feeling of money. What would it feel like to have money? It just feels nice, it feels good, it feels easy, and it just feels fun. And you feel like how that conversation, it didn't activate any resistance in you. It was a boring conversation, but that door was completely open. And while you talk about money like that, while you talk about money in terms of clarity and fun and joy, now your door is open and you're not resonating, or you're not vibrating with the absence of money anymore. It's really the emotions that are the easiest way to your manifestations. That's how you get things out. It's choosing the emotion, because when you're choosing the emotion, instead of choosing the subject and working through the subject, instead of working hard and being goal oriented, you're choosing the emotion, and then because it's general and there's literally no resistance in the emotion, and then now law of attraction gives you everything that you want, that's literally in your vortex, that matches that emotion. So it literally it fleshes out right in front of you, and you get to just sit there and be like, wow, like I didn't have to do anything, and the universe not only gave me this, but it gave me this and this and this, and the ball really gets rolling. Because it's not about, what's interesting is that it's not about the manifestation, because you don't have the manifestation right now. And that's what's really interesting about all this, because when it's about the manifestation and you don't have it, then you just shot yourself in the foot. Now you have to see it before you have to see it to believe it. But when has it ever worked? Where are you really getting with that approach? Nowhere. And it's really interesting. Being defensive is really interesting. Being defensive is really what it really comes down to, is you want to explain to someone why it is the way it is. You want to explain it's not my fault, it's because of this, it's because of this. Because when you're depending on your action and your effort, when you fake it until you make it, when you pretend it into being, then you don't really get far, because you can kind of pretend it and then feel it, and then you get far, but it's still harder. We want to get you to feel your desire. We want you to get all the way to the end, because everything that you want is for the feeling. And so as you practice the feeling of your desire, then now you're practicing the very frequency that will allow you to see the manifestation. Isn't that so interesting? You can literally see the manifestation, because the manifestation is there. It's in your vortex. Your inner being has already become it. All the cooperative components are ready for you. Everything that you want is ready for you. And how are you going to get in there? How are you going to be in the receiving mode of your vortex and become a match to the vortex? How are you going to do it? Talk about emotions. Talk about why you want it. And as you start to feel the wobble-free conversation, as you start to have that sort of resistant-free conversation, the doors open, and then momentum will ensue, and then you're going to have what you want. But the emotional manifestation is first. And you know why emotional manifestation is so fun, and it really can be so life-giving? Because you feel good. Because while you're having this conversation of being like, talking about the money, you're not talking about where it's going to come from, you're not talking about enterprises, you're not talking about business ideas, you're just talking about the vibrational essence of your money, the channel of it, what it feels like, what's on the other side of being poor. Richness. So as you talk about clarity and fun and joy and ease and feeling amazing and fun and joy, and you see how like at first it's slow and then it starts to pick up, and then it's like the words just start coming out of your mouth, like it just feels fun and easy and joy, and it feels like free, and it feels fun, it feels like choices, it feels like freedom, and it feels like this and that. And even if you don't have, it's not really about the words, it's really about the feeling that you feel right here in your solar plexus chakra. And as you feel it and translate it, you're there. You now have that desire, and you made it end run. You have now had the home run, and that desire is now yours. It's vibrationally yours. And you know how it's vibrationally yours? Because you have achieved the feeling of it. Because as a result of thinking about that desire of the money, for example, now you feel even better than you did before you started the conversation. That's how you know that you're creating momentum in the direction of your desire. Because now as a result of thinking about it, you feel better. You feel even better. It enhances your alignment. You feel the vortex. You feel ready. And that's the price that you have to pay for all of your desires. You have to feel good. And it's so interesting because it's the biggest 2-for-1 that you'll ever get. Because while you talk about money in the form of clarity, you're like, well, it feels like clarity, feels like joy, you're feeling good. That conversation is guaranteed to make you feel good. And so you got to feel good. That's the thing though that's what we mean by the price that you have to pay is joy. Because in order to get down the entire path all the way to your desire, You gotta feel good. That's your guidance system. That's what your GPS system is telling you. You gotta feel good all the way over there, and it doesn't take that long to take that much time. All it takes is for you to go from confusion all the way to clarity. That's literally all you have to do. But when you think about confusion and clarity, it's so easy. When you think about money, it's like, oh, that's complicated because I have to like figure out how I'm gonna get it and what avenue I can get it from. There's so much more resistance on the path because naturally it's just there's resistance on it. But take the easy way out. Take the easy way out, which is talk about the motion of it. The motion of the desire, it really is the backdoor entrance. And it's so interesting. It's so interesting because the reason why humans don't like to hear that because they just want to reach out and grab it. And we're saying, well, that's not how law of attraction works because you can't be vibrating on one channel and then try to hop on another channel because the law of attraction won't allow you. If anything, what really happens is that you nail your feet into the frequency you're trying to jump from. Isn't that so interesting? Because when you want your manifestation, it's not here yet. You're vibrating with the absence of it. So you're like, okay, what process can I do? And then while you do all these processes, it's like maybe it works, but usually what happens is that it highlights the gap. It highlights the fact that it highlights the absence even more. It like puts a spotlight on the absence, and then you become very obsessive and you don't get anywhere because the absence is still really highlighted in your purview. And so, but when you're talking about the emotions, you're always feeling good. But now when you talk about when you talk about money, when you talk about the books, when you talk about what you want to leave out the manifestations right now. You want to leave out the pieces that you don't have answers to right now because it will always cause resistance. All you want to do is you want to break it apart by vibrationally speaking. You want to enjoy the emotion of it. You want to talk about why you want it. And you know what's interesting? When you talk about why you want your desire, now your desire doesn't feel so big anymore. Your desire just feels natural. That's the thing about talking in vibrational terms. Spending that vibrational currency right now, spending the currency of clarity in relation to dollars. Because you know what happens? Now when you think about big money, it doesn't feel big anymore. It feels logical. That's what it's all about. It feels like a logical next step, and that's what your desire has to be in order for you to manifest it. It can't feel big. It can't feel like, oh, I just really want it. If I had it, my whole life would change. It would just be like, yeah, like that's cool. I'm gonna enjoy it. It has to feel small. And so now when people are talking about big money, you're like, there's no such thing as big money because when I'm talking about money, I really mean big clarity. I mean big fun. I mean big joy. And I really have so much of that already in my life. I already have so much joy and so much fun, so much ease in my life right now. And we're saying like that's all you really got to do. It's interesting because to talk to our human friends who are so used to the grit and sacrifice, this is a very it's not an odd conversation, but it is a conversation that requires a reorientation. You're vibrational, and the way out of being physical is to become vibrational. It's to really understand that you're vibrational, and then the way that you know that you're vibrational is because what you feel and what you get is always a match. And so as you change how you feel, you always get you get different things. That's just a law of attraction right there for you. As you change how you feel, you change what you get. And so instead of going through all the thoughts and writing out thoughts like, okay, affirmations, you're just focusing on how you feel. And as you change how you feel, you're tuning your frequency because remember, your emotions are all about vibration. Your emotions are about how you translate vibrations. And as you tune like a radio, like you would tune a radio, you're tuning your frequency. You learn to let in new things. So now when you think about money, you're thinking about clarity, you're thinking about joy. Like, yeah, like this money thing is easy because if we're talking about clarity, we're good. But if we're talking about how the money's gonna come, I don't know. But I know how I can get more joy. I know how I can get more clarity. So you want to have the emotional manifestation first because emotional manifestation is so easy. It is easy. That's the thing though. When all this, when you really understand the formula, then all of this feels so easy. And then it's like, damn, like I really put so much of my happiness was really at stake because I really thought I had so much action to do. I thought life was about worthiness, but now I just understand that life is all about feeling good at this moment, feeling the replenishment on this moment, and the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment. And our artist friends, they're the ones who really know that the people who are in the creative arts, they really understand that because when they're in the mode of creation, they're in an alignment. And that alignment is the optimal life experience right there. It's really interesting because source energy, non-physical energy, angels, whatever you want to call it, they're right here focusing because there's nowhere else to be. This is a leading edge. This is where the non-physical and the physical meets because we're all in this together. So enjoy the emotions of your desires. Enjoy them right now. Spend the emotional currency, the vibrational currency. When you're thinking about this and that and this and that, break those desires up into, well, how will this feel? How will this feel? Why do I want it? Why do I want it? And as you start to talk in those terms, your desires they not only feel so much more attainable, you practice a frequency that allows you to perceive and translate and not only manifest it, but allows you to manifest it really